Gloucester Cathedral, a masterpiece of Romanesque and Gothic architecture, is a site where the veil between history and the supernatural is notoriously thin. Its hauntings reflect 1,000 years of monastic devotion and royal tragedy and local lore. The most frequent sightings involve the monks who once lived within the Benedictine Abbey of St. Peter. Me and one of them have issues with each other. Often seen in the cloisters, the round monk, or we're going to say the black monk, is known for his silent, purposeful walk. He is famous for walking directly through solid oak doors as if they weren't there. In the Nave, visitors have reported the chilling sensation of a single clear voice whispering Latin prayers directly into their ears, though no one is standing near them. One of the most striking external hauntings involves a full procession of spiritual monks marching down Westgate Street through the cathedral. A witness once stepped into the street to let them pass, only to realise the figures vanished the moment he looked back. Shortly before the stained glass windows were removed for protection during World War II, a monk was seen sitting in the choir stalls. He rose, walked to the altar rail, knelt in deep prayer, and then faded away. The Apprentice Bracket, located in the south transept, this stone carving depicts a young mason falling. Legend says an apprentice fell to his death from the scaffolding. His spirit was so restless that his fellow masons symbolically buried his spirit in a leather pouch inside the wall to grant him peace and stop the hauntings. Also in the south transept, a nun is said to have been bricked up alive as punishment for a forbidden romance. Her moans are said to be heard drifting on the air when the wind blows from a specific direction. During the English Civil War, the crypt was used as a refuge and storage. The spirit of a young girl, known as the Curing Girl, is seen darting between the thick Norman pillars, often accompanied by the sound of heartbreaking sobbing. The chapter house, that building there is the chapter house. The floor of the chapter house was levelled and coffins moved in 1880s. Consequently, a ghostly man is seen walking on his knees. He's actually walking on the original lower medieval street level, which now sits beneath the current floor. In one of the most gruesome reports, a pool of fresh blood was seen on a stone bench in the cloisters, appearing to drip from a gargoyle above. By the time staff arrived to investigate, the blood had completely vanished. The library spirit, a mischievous entity in the cathedral library, is known to throw books from the shelves. This activity is almost always accompanied by a strong, inexplicable scent of old pipe tobacco. The high tray forum, so before I knew this, I would always, when I come out from the mezzanine, I would always felt as if someone was watching me, and this explains everything. The upper gallery, closed to the public, is haunted by a tall, dark figure. It stands at the edge looking down into the nave, but retreats into the arches where there is no exit, and the moment it is spotted. Though the cathedral bells are silenced at 11 p.m. After 11 p.m, residents nearby have frequently reported them ringing out at 4 a.m. The quiet of the cloisters is sometimes shattered by the sound of ruffians, so poorly dressed children, not my words, running and playing. They are often seen being chased by an angry man brandishing a large stick, a scene that plays out like a stone tape recording from counties past. On the anniversary of Edward II's brutal murder, which is September 21st, the area around his tomb becomes heavy with oppressive sadness. Visitors report sudden temperature drops and the sound of muffled cries and a struggle emanating from the stone. The King's School, one of the oldest schools in the world, occupies several historic buildings surrounding the cathedral. The most haunted of these is the former Bishop's Palace, which is this main building here, a grand structure that served as a residence for the bishops of Gloucester until the mid-20th century. The building's spiritual activity is deeply rooted in its turbulent architectural history. For centuries, this was the seat of ecclesiastical power in Gloucester. Many believe the primary ghost is a former bishop who loved the palace so much in life that he refused to leave it in death, maintaining a protective but restless presence. The palace was plagued by bad luck, suffering 3 major fires throughout history. It was during the third fire that the tragedy truly struck, resulting in the deaths of 7 people. The ghost of the King's School Palace is highly active and organised. Staff and teachers have arrived in the mornings to find furniture moved and paperwork shifted or reorganised on desks. One of the most common reports involves the physical sensation of walking directly in front of someone. People often feel they're about to collide with a person or feel someone walking closely behind them, only to turn the corner and find the corridor completely empty. The basement of the palace once served as a service quarters where domestic staff prepared meals for the bishop and his guests. Visitors and students often report the sudden mouth-watering scent of rich gourmet food, such as roasting meats or heavy stews, emanating from the basement. This is considered a stone tape haunting because the school does not store, prepare, or cook any food in this part of the building anymore. Students frequently report seeing a figure darting across the doorways or standing at the end of long hallways. These figures are almost always seen in peripheral vision. When the observer turns to look directly at them, the figure vanishes. This shimmer in the air is often felt near the grand staircase, where the air temperature is said to drop significantly without explanation. So the spirits of victims of the Great Fires, or a bishop still overseeing his administrative duties, King's School remains a place where the living and the dead share the same hallways.